Hello, Light and Bone Tarot. This is Light and Bone Tarot. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, for letting me read for you. Just thank you. It is something I am working at every day at this point in my life, and I'm enjoying it very much. So I hope that with each reading, I get better, and I hope that you just bear with me and watch my videos and hopefully enjoy them. And let's see if I can not say hopefully one more time. Okay, so this reading is, I'm calling it your current romantic status. And it's fun and lighthearted, let's say, but I do think that I have a way of always making readings a little bit more, sorry, I have a cord and a flame fairly close to one another. 1 second here. See if we can get that to stick. We'll see. So, where was I? Okay, yes, this is your romantic status, and I think I'm going to try to incorporate a few different things into this reading, because the pictures are playful, but I actually am going to try and make them just a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to try to work with some tarot, some oracle cards, and I want to do these other oracle cards that can help with like a time idea of time. So the first picture we have, I just call it Feeling Myself. It's kind of like, just because it looks a little isolated with some blocks, it just looks like a happy, I don't know, like when you're a kid and you just build a little block house or something like that. It brings up, for me, good vibes. It doesn't even like look lonely, but I just feel like I love you, I love me, I love myself, I just love my situation. So this could be, you could be, I don't know, just with someone or not, but I kind of get the feeling that if you picked this, you are probably not in a relationship. So let's read for picture 1 right now, and let's see where you're at. If you picked Feeling Yourself, where are you? Where are you romantically right now? We'll see. We'll see if it tracks. We'll see. It might not. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles, just in case you can't read. I told you everything that you're probably staring at. So let's see here. For the Ten of Pentacles, that's I always say that cards don't come up very often, and I feel like the Ten of Pentacles does not come up very often, so much so that I'm trying to think how do I describe the Ten of Pentacles, and what does this have to do? You know what? Scratch all this. I just hallucinated for a second. This is the Ten of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. I like that much more. The Two of Pentacles is a fun one. I think it's like balance, it's juggling, it can be good, bad, or otherwise, but I feel like it gives me the feeling that it's kind of a good vibe. The juggling aspect of the card to me is somewhat positive. And these little pentacles, they look happy. They look like little button earrings or something. They're just very cute and harmless. They do seem like they're like two little boobs almost. They just seem like they're in balance. They're cute. I like them. They make you feel good. They don't bring up much of the feeling of the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is what I always refer back to in my head. But all the same, looking at these cards here, especially with the Queen of Pentacles, I'm thinking you might be a little bossy. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I'm getting bossy out of this. I think just seeing the Queen come up, no matter what it is, it does make me think of like there's just that, like you probably like to be in control, you probably like to share your opinion, and I'm really going to try to stick to the relationship theme here. And given that theme, you might push that on whomever you're dating, and it might, I don't know, your thoughts, your agenda might seem to overwhelm a relationship at times. I don't think that's like a horrible thing, but it can be a bit much at times, and this might represent a little bit of a juggling act that you may or may not be good at. And with the Ten of Wands, this is actually a heavier, yeah, these are wands, goodness. This is actually a heavier card than you'd like to think. It's kind of, because wands in general aren't so heavy, but to me this is kind of like an endings. Like there's a sense of defeat. There's a very much like, but it also can be like a hard work pays off card. But if we're getting you in a relationship, or kind of like your relationship style, you're I think you can be a lot to deal with. I think there's I just think you bring your own agenda and ideas and kind of like influence into a relationship, which might be why you're alone right now, and it might be working out great for you because you can really get to the core of like what you want to accomplish, you know, with work, financially, with home, with just all the other pieces of your life that aren't relationship based. And I think ow, fuck, that really hurt. I think we forget about these things. We don't forget about them, but we kind of push them aside when we're in a relationship. But I do get the impression that you are someone who it's hard for you to push these aside. You always want to work on them. You always want to have a project, and I think that when you're in a relationship, what you want to do becomes a bit much at times. So if you are feeling yourself, I think you're really liking that you're single right now, or that you're not in this massively committed union, and you're really, I think you're striving. I think you're getting things done. And the juggling act could be like, maybe you're seeing people, maybe you're, you know, on a dating app, maybe you're lightweight dating, who knows? But I think that you're like juggling some other fun things in your life. And as far as like the 10 of Wands, I do think that I just think you're working hard. If this is a snapshot of you, you're pretty driven, you're pretty bossy, you're pretty motivated, and you are, I just think if you're in a relationship, you have a pretty loud voice about what you want, and you're probably the one that, like, if you go out to dinner, it's probably the place that you wanted to go to, and if it's a vacation, you know, it's probably the trip you wanted to take. And I think the men that you're with, they like that. They like that in a woman. They like that. So I don't think that's a bad thing, but I just get that, the picture of that's who you are. Let's see, let's get another, okay, what strengths do you bring to a relationship? Let's get a little bit of that. Because that first line was, yeah, so what strengths are you bringing to a relationship? These are all upside down, but not a problem. Oh. So funny with the 10s, now we've got a king. It's like we're just upping the ante. The 9 of Wands, also the 9 precedes the 10, and it's a card of like, I don't know, like, let's say there was some, like maybe there was a struggle or a battle, and you did battle, and you've been quite resilient. You've stuck around. But I do think, again, when you're in a relationship, I think that you do have that element of, I just think you have a little fight in you. But I do think that the fight is fairly one-sided at times. But again, I think these people that you're with are, you know, they're into it to a degree. And then I wonder if the King of Swords here is actually you, or if it's the kind of men you generally wind up dating. Let me think about that for a minute. The 10 of Cups, not bad. I don't mind this for you. This actually makes me happy. This is like, it's a beautiful, lovely card. You think of like rainbows, couples holding hands. You think of like, or riding off into the sunset kind of thing. So if this is another like you in a relationship, I think you are someone that people really think they can go the distance with. I think you have like those very solid qualities that make someone think like, yes, I could be with this person. Like, she ticks all the boxes. She's super intense and erotic, definitely bossy, irritatingly bossy. However, you are, the kind of people you gravitate towards are totally up for the ride. They're totally okay with this. But yeah, there's definitely some fight. I think I'm not going to say your love language, because you've got more to offer than fighting being your love language. But I think that you definitely, you kind of force people into a communication, and that communication might be a little more like argumentative than they're used to, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes if it's not cruel or mean intentioned, then I think arguments can be really like fulfilling and like point like full of pointful. What's the word? Purposeful and interesting and good. So yes, whether or not you're single now, I'm just going to assume for the most part that you are. this cord and this fire. I'm going to assume for the most part that you are, because you picked this card. But let's see if you're, let's kind of gauge your level of content. What's making you happy right now? Like, what are you digging about your current situation? I think you just like that you're in control. I think when you are single or alone or not like deeply committed, I think you really dig that it's like, it is completely and utterly your world. And I mean, I get that. I like to think I'm someone that if I'm not in a relationship, I am very much like mastering something on the side and just, spending more time with my friends or more time building a hobby or my work or something. Like I always feel like I'm contributing more to the world when I'm not in a relationship. But I don't have kids and I'm not married, so not many people are counting on me to, be a contributing partner in any way. So that said, we've got some pretty cool cards down here, I think, for who you are when you're single and how it works for you. And I think it really works for you. I think you take a step back from being bossy. I think you're softer with your friends. I think you're even probably a lot more lighthearted when you actually are just dating. And I think you just learn a lot more about yourself, and you get to kind of loosen up, and you're quicker to you just let things go more. It's a little more water rolls off your back. You're an easier, fun-loving person, but yet you're fierce as far as like commanding, steering your own ship. And I think you're digging that right now. I kind of feel like you are in this phase right now where you are very much doing your own thing and just enjoying it. And it could be forever if that's what you wanted, but if that's not what you want, and it probably isn't, otherwise I don't think you'd be watching this. I think you can write this out for as little or as long as you want, and you would get a lot out of it. I truly believe that if you were single, let's say for, I was going to say a year, and I feel like to some people that sounds like such a long time, but like, let's just say a year, 6 months, a year, whatever. I think you would probably accomplish like some ridiculous amount of things in that amount of time. And good for you, because that's great. So let's find out some of your amazing qualities. Like, what are people loving about you? And actually, let's like this single you, this vibe you have right now. What are they just digging about you right now? I love the Devil card. I love it because I initially feared it, and now I think it's fun and it's cool. You're doing what you want. So if you are going on a date, I think that right away they're like, "Whew, this woman." I mean, not like she knows what she wants. Like you're telling them you want to get married or you want to have this many kids or whatever. I think like you know what you want in the sense that you'll put it all out there, and you're very much, like I said, you're steering your own ship. You're very much in control. Like I would not at all be surprised if the Chariot card comes up for you, because that makes me think like you've got this momentum, you're doing it. The Emperor is a huge card for that. And the World, I mean, it's cycles, it's accomplishments, it's completion, it's new beginnings. It's somewhat, to me, I see this like somewhat karmic circle to it, but in a way that makes me think, but not in a bad way, in an ending way, in a new beginning way, and all the things that make your story, whether the week ends, the month ends, the decade ends, the relationship ends, the job ends, whatever, like all the little details that make up you and that piece of your life. I think you're you're just always working on something. I think you've always, I like the word cyclical when I think it applies, and I think you go in these cycles. And if you're single right now, I think that you're in this kind of like single cycle, and you're very determined right now. And then you're feisty. You're not afraid to speak up. You're not apologetic for the fact that you are doing you right now completely and wholeheartedly. Yeah, and this is what people love about you. When I see the Devil card, let's ask another question about that. Let's see, like, I mean, because the Devil, like, okay, let's see if Spirit has any more insight as to why do men love seeing this Devil aspect of you. Oh, funny. Okay, so if I'm asking that question, like, what's so great about the Devil card in you? And I love that the Devil card came up as a good card. And then we got the Sun, and the Sun to me it's like a contradiction of the Devil, even though it definitely makes me think of hot and fire. So that's funny. But the Sun to me it's like this. I don't know. It's everything. It's life. But life in that happy way. It's like it's vitality. It's success. It's youth. It's like adornment. It's like, you know, the world at your fingertips. What you want, you attract. It's manifestations. You know, it's everything. The Sun gives life to everything. We can't live without it. Plants couldn't make beautiful flowers without it. You know, we couldn't survive without it. So it's kind of this like life-giving force, but in a very beautiful way, not in the way that like burns people up and kills them like the Devil would. So I think if people love seeing the Devil in you, it's probably because maybe you're like this contradiction, and they really do see the good in you. If they see you as the Sun, or they see your life as kind of the Sun, or what you're doing for yourself, that means you really are. I mean, you're shining, you're bright, you're interesting, you're dynamic, you've got this element of warmth to you, which I really like. I think some people are colder, and that's appealing and even sexy in its own way, but you're not. You might come off harsh, and like I said, you might be like abrasive at times in your relationship, but I do think that you have that with that passion to kind of argue and share extreme thoughts comes a passion, a warmth, and what can I do to not say the word passion again? But I hope you get the picture. So if they love the Devil, then they also love the Sun in you, and you're very lucky you have the Sun in you. I mean, if you've got the Sun and the Emperor, it's like you're commanding. You really can do a lot. And for the world, I think there's an element of like no fear here. You're not afraid of things ending. You're not afraid of leaving. You're doing exactly what you want to do. And I like that. Okay, so bear with me. I am going to start trying to play with a couple other decks here. And I've got an Oracle deck that I want to start incorporating just one or two little thoughts on, or like, and you know, we're experimenting. I am confident about tarot. Like so much so that like if a message plays out, or whatever cards I put down, I always, at least for myself, I always believe like they really are the cards that were supposed to be read. And I think a lot of the readers who do the Oracle and combine them in with their tarot, I think it's brilliant. I think they tell amazing stories, and it not only does it look good, but you're like, oh my gosh, there's such an unfolding here. So I want to try to do some of that, but I want to make it interesting, and I want to make it pretty to look at on top of it all. So I don't know, like, let's say you are single. Let's say you're feeling yourself. Like, let's just, I'm going to do a what's good about that, and what do you need to keep in mind? So what's good about that, and what do you need to keep in mind? So unstick the stack. I guess if you are, if you're so happy, what's good about that? Unstick the stack. Yeah, I literally do not know what this card means. I need to read about the cards, apparently. I thought that it would be more self-explanatory. But let me just take this a minute. Okay, then it does track. Yes, we said earlier that you tend to not accomplish as much when you are bolted down to something. And I do think that those things, those ideas, those thoughts, those energies, they do tend to get stuck for you when you're in a relationship. And now that you are completely and utterly doing you, it's like you are unstuck. You're free. The glue is gone. Like, you've really got this this movement, this momentum. And I'm sure if I read the meaning of this card, it would tell me basically that, but it doesn't matter, because for me that tracks, and that's the good. Like, you're not stuck. I mean, not only are you not stuck in a relationship you don't want to be in, which I have no idea or insight as to whether or not that was the case for you, but I think just you being single, doing you, especially with the knowledge that you know maybe in your future relationships you need to put more effort on, I don't want to say not losing yourself, because you're very always aware of who you are. I don't think you lose yourself. I just think you have so much you want to do, and that you really just need to find a way to manage your time and energies. And I think it comes down to energy. It comes down to, harvesting your chi a little better when you're in a relationship. And it's that masculine and feminine balance. It's the yin and the yang. It's really just striking a balance that I don't think you've been brilliant at doing. So yes, you are unsticking the stuck, and good for you. And then I said, what do you need to, or just like a warning, or what's kind of a warning message? And this is, Bliss is worth creating from Bliss is worth creating from. So I think what I'm getting out of this card is that if you're happy, that's your starting point. That's your make being happy, make being blissed out, make being like just on cloud nine. Make that your status quo. Make that, I mean, that's so cheesy to say, like, just be super happy. But I think that it's like, find the things that kind of are your equilibrium happy place. And right now I think that is like you totally doing you. I really think this is your happy place. I think like you waking up in the morning and being like, I don't have to worry about a goddamn person right now. It's literally just if I want to sit and have coffee over here, or if I want to sit and have coffee over here. Like, there's nothing, you're not being plagued or bogged down. And as simple as that pleasure may be, just sitting and drinking coffee in silence, or reading a garbage article or something, it's kind of like it is a blissful state of being. And I get this. It for me, it's simple pleasures. And I think, whoa, but this was a warning. Bliss is worth creating. Oh no, I don't know the warning here. I'm gonna revalidate why you feeling yourself is good. So sorry for being so erratic during this reading. And I shouldn't admit that I don't know these cards. I really do need to get a feel for this deck more, but I don't regret bringing them out. And I think that there's still a message here. And and it sticks with me. So I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let's see, what time are we at? Yeah, I think this is a good time to stop, only because I do tend to ramble, and I really want to get to a point where I could do like a 40-minute spread and just keep on going, and have you just wanting more. But I think we hit our ending point here. Thank you so much, really. Thank you. I hope to come out with a lot of fun new material, like every day for a month, and hopefully you enjoy it. So thank you, and see you soon, or talk to you soon. Picture 2. Thank you, just 100 times over. So I'm so happy to be here, and I don't know if you're working and just listening to this in the background, or really tuning in, whatever you're doing. Just thank you very much for just allowing me to read for you. So here we are. I think this is more lighthearted. My last one wasn't like entirely lighthearted. But yours is my boo. Sweet picture, super stock image, but like you get the idea. And if you picked it, you're probably like all loved up right now. So I am not doing this to find what's wrong with your relationship. We might ask like what needs to be addressed, or not addressed, what needs to be made better or something. But no, I think I'm just going to get some I'm going to try to make this like a very happy, what's so amazing about your relationship right now, and your boo, and let's get a feel for that. So let's get the snapshot of your relationship. And I'm going to do this. Everyone's a little different here. Okay. Fun start. So we've got the two pentacle cards in a row here. So just staring at that, not even looking at this, I think your relationship it's grounded. It's at least, I think you and your partner are probably on the same page. I think you guys work hard, you take your job seriously, work's important to you, earnings might be important to you. I do think that you are, and for that reason, I think you're fairly well balanced. I do think one of you makes a little bit more than the other, and this, might, actually, I don't even think it's an issue. I think this is one reason why you guys are together, because you are very similar. And may I say, this might be one reason why things are working out so good, because this is, by the picture, it's super happy. And I don't think you pick this picture if things aren't going well in your relationship. So I'm really gonna lean into that. And I think you guys are really very close to being equally matched as far as what you're making, what you're, just where you are professionally. And maybe you guys both are on the page where you're we're saving for a home, and we're just doing good things. But I think you guys you enjoy spending your money together. I think you're good at saving. I think you're good at sharing. I think you're good at kind of grouping your money and just doing fun things together. I see you guys taking either trips or vacations together a lot. I see you guys kind of as the couple that, I don't know if you have an Instagram account together, but I just feel like you've got pictures and stories to share of things you've done together, because you both work hard and you're very equally matched. It's not and there's nothing wrong with this, but it's not say one of you isn't working as hard as the other and always feels like maybe you have to wait to see what the other wants to do because it's more their money to spend or something along those lines. Whereas I think you are both just enjoying this time where money is it's pretty free, and I don't think you guys are stressing about it at all. In fact, I think it's the opposite of stressing. I think it's kind of you can, I don't know, look at each other after a hard day's work at 5 o'clock and be like, let's just go out to a nice dinner tonight. We've earned it. Let's have that nice dinner. Let's just things like that. Or, you're walking down the street and you see something you want in a shop or on Amazon. I mean, but you get it. I don't think you're splurging. I don't think you are out of line with your spending or over the top. I just think you guys are very well balanced in that regard. So let me say that. I do think one of you makes more. I don't think you're completely even, Steven, but I don't think that's a big deal. Great. So the next two cards is King of Cups and Death. Death is definitely not death. It is new beginnings. It is fresh starts. I mean, there can be some pain or struggle, and I do like to give the Death card a little bit of a negative. I like to give it the negativity it deserves, and same with the Devil. It came up for a reason. No one's dying, but I do. Let me think about that. As far as the King of Cups goes, let me think. I just got a feeling, and this the Death thing. I was gonna say one of you is more sort of pessimistic than the other, and I think one of you is very, very in control of their emotions, and I almost want to say emotional, but not over the top, not like a neurotic woman, but a good communicator, and someone who definitely is not afraid to communicate, someone who has this emotional faculty that they're very much in control of, but that they probably can lord over a situation or an argument or a discussion at times. But this is a fun thing for me. Again, this isn't bad. And I think when I see the Death card, I'm just going to play your two personalities against each other, and because I think there's a contrast here between you guys, because I think in some ways you're very similar. Like, you could have gone to the same schools, you could have studied the same things, you could be working in the same office or same whatever, but or same company, same, oh my gosh, industry is what I meant to say. I don't think anyone works in the same office anymore. But I think that you have these opposite sides of your personality, and I do think that one of you is, I love, as long as someone isn't like deeply negative and like a downer, I love the sarcastic, like almost pessimistic person. Like, I mean, I want them to be, I love the self-deprecating person. I just love that personality. There's something so funny about it to me, that dry sense of humor, that sarcasm, that bite. One of you has that. That's what I'm getting from the death card here. I'm not getting anything heavier than that. And I'm getting that the other one of you is ever so slightly emotional, but yet a very good communicator. And I think that the sarcastic one might make the other one almost have to remind them, like, look, that was funny, but it was a bit much, and that was over the top. Like, that was borderline hurtful. But this works for you guys because I think you're very, very well matched. Let's get another idea about how well matched you are. Oh. Cups. We've got 5 and a 7 of cups. So up here, 6 and 8, 5, 7, cups, pentacles. You guys are well matched. What a fun, I mean, it's almost like it's too good to be true, you two. Okay, so 5 of cups is, we could almost, we could call it heavy. And the 7, okay. So the 7 of cups, I wasn't even thinking about what they meant. I was just thinking of the numbers. And this is, oh yeah, I called that 6. The 5 of cups is it's loss. It's looking back. I can see it as regret. There's something about the 5 of cups that does make you think, there's like, oh, remember when we had this and now we don't. This might be more, the person who's slightly pessimistic might bring a more 5 of cups energy. Again, not bad. I mean, there has to be a balance in a relationship. There has to be, you guys both can't be like freaking just doing yoga and meditating all day. Like, that's not a real, I mean, that could be a real relationship, but that's not how a lot of people live their lives in a relationship. So I am, yeah, and wish I could remember the question that I actually threw out here. I think I asked for another snapshot of your relationship. I think I did. And so this is a heavy card. This card is interesting because this card to me is like, what you see isn't quite what you get. Illusions. I actually just read this morning, that this card can be associated with the 7 deadly sins. Like, each cup, which you cannot tell in this picture at all, represents like one of the deadly sins, which is basically like whatever you're feeling or thinking you shouldn't be. So this is like, if this is a snapshot of your relationship, I'm just going to say, because we are sticking with a positive theme for this, I have no reason not to. And I almost like how heavy the cards are coming up, because obviously they're heavy elements. It doesn't mean your relationship's perfect or that you have a relationship that anyone else would ever even want to be in, but it works for you guys. But yeah, I don't know how I would interpret this as a snapshot, but I would say there's an underbelly to your relationship. And I think that underbelly is that things look so bright and chipper on the outside, and they are great on the inside. You two work, but I think there are a lot of other things that maybe people don't see that you guys deal with and you talk about. Like just more layers, more depth, less trivial matters, less like, less talking about vacations and where you'd like to spend your money, and more really talking about like emotions and grit and life. And again, if this person is truly wonderfully pessimistic and sarcastic, maybe they have a story, maybe they have something that they've been through that made them that way. And maybe that element, the general public doesn't see that side of them, but your partner does, or vice versa. So I like this because they're very two similar. This is almost like negative and confusing, and this is positive and awesome and like potential and wonderful and great and solid. And then this is really like, oh yeah, there's more to you guys. You're not just a surface level perfect union. And I do think you guys, I think you have some fights. I think, let's see some of your struggles, and in a fun way. Let's have a fun time looking at your struggles. Three of Cups and the Chariot. So I'm going to move things up a little. So if we are looking at, and by struggles, again, things just, maybe Spirit wants to give you some tips, things to work on to make everything even better, because I really think you guys are great. I love the Three of Cups, right? I think the Three of Cups is like, it's that union, it's that friendship, it's that gathering. So this makes me think you have a friend group, you have support, you've got family, you guys are social. There's just, to me, there's a social aspect to this. And the Chariot to me is, well, if this is, I need to stop asking a question, putting down the cards, and just making a left. Like, I completely am abandoning what question I asked. My question was, what do you guys need to work on? What's a little thing to think about? So if I see the Three of Cups, I'm going to say maybe you do need to be more social. Maybe you need to get out more. Maybe you need to incorporate more people into your relationship. Maybe you've created kind of like such a tight-knit little web between the two of you, almost like a little safety net that the two of you have. I don't know, maybe you guys are more codependent than I realized. I could see that. And if that works for you, amazing. I mean, codependent sounds like a negative term, and I think it is actually, but I'm saying it, I don't know the like euphemism for it or whatever. Like, I don't know what the good way of describing codependency is. There's a word for it, and I think that you guys, walk that line. You're probably pretty close to it. And the Chariot, if this is something you guys like could need to work on or need to like not think about, I'm going to say the Chariot is like, there's a momentum for you guys. But I do think you guys are planners. You either might need to think about, if we're talking about money and career, finances, goals, the two of you might need to really start thinking about the next level of the relationship, because you're headed there. I think you guys are really going there, but I think you might need to have a conversation or talk a little bit more or plan a little bit more to get just some additional momentum going as far as like more security, next level. That's what I'm getting about from this line here. And the Three of Cups, something about getting out more, something about, or I hate to do this because it's like, well, do you even have any idea what you're talking about? And I do, but I'm going to say the opposite of that can be maybe. So this cup is like, it could, I mean, it does not mean that here, and I can't stress that enough, but this card could mean like a throuple, like a third person. But that third person, it doesn't at all ever have to be someone that someone's having an affair with. It could be like just a third person that really isn't serving you guys. That is just like, maybe they hang out, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's just a best girlfriend or something, that it's like, maybe they're spending a little too much time with you guys. So as I talk this through and I give you gentle things to work on, I do think that there is someone that is not just, you're spending too much time with them. Let's put it that way. And it could be another couple. It doesn't have to be like exactly three people, but there's another person or two people that might not be the best thing for you guys, or just think of moving on from them a little bit. And the Chariot, if we swipe this, that's exactly, I would think, that's exactly what the cards would represent. Kind of moving on from this person. But I do think that I'm getting a feeling that as organized as you are with your spending, as same page as you are with like where you want to travel, where you want to eat, what you want to spend money on, I think the topic of like putting a little more oomph behind it, like, are we going to talk about raising a family together, or another member of the family, or getting a dog, or buying a house, or leaving, moving, like going somewhere else and combining your resources and really doing something a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, with a little more like traction, because you're on that path. You have momentum behind you and things are good. So I'm gonna pull some oracle cards, but I meant it when I said things are good for you guys. And I'm almost like terrified to keep pulling cards, because it's like, oh no, what if I pull, but no card's gonna be bad. And I feel like whatever card I pull will definitely be able to spin it in a nice way. But I think this is a very decent snapshot. Let's give you guys, I like this. Let's give you guys a good luck charm. I like good luck charms. Knight of Swords. So I'm going to say, keep up with the communication. I think this is, to me, there's a little bit of this that says this is kind of like a don't be hasty card, but I just told you to like up your momentum down here. So I don't quite see it as that. I see this more as like a communication card, where I want you guys to this is almost like a keep up the friendly banter. This is like if things are too heavy, remember, like, you guys have fantastic communication. You have fantastic banter. You get each other's sense of humor. You really know how to get to each other. You really know how to make each other laugh. And just come around, and don't forget that. Don't forget your individual and very unique power of communication. I get the feeling that the two of you could like almost have, I do not want to say brother sisterly love. I think there's plenty of passion between you guys. Not plenty, but enough. I think, but the reason I went back and said not plenty is because that's not the base of your relationship. What you guys really, your passion, your need and your want for each other, you really love and respect each other. You see a bit of yourself in the other. You really think that like this person is so totally the person for you, that you have found like your person. I really feel that you feel that way, and that the thought of like starting from scratch and trying to find someone else, you would just be searching for this person again and again, because this is really, they are exactly what you want. You can really be yourself with them. They get you, they know you. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. And I do think that communication wise, that you guys can just laugh and enjoy yourself and have fun together. So yeah, I think this is a reminder to just talk, laugh, have fun. Even if it's watching, if watching movies on Netflix is your thing half the time, like that's okay. If it works for you guys and you're happy, great. And then I did say that about the passion. The reason I said that I don't think you have this overly passionate relationship is because the grounds of your relationship to me is based on foundation, a sturdy foundation, and communication. I'm not getting that like you guys were the couple that came on so hot and heavy, cheated on your significant others with, and just had to be together. I mean, you guys, I actually have no idea if you've been friends forever and finally decided to date, or if you just right away knew that the other was like your counterpart. But however that story unfolded, you just felt really like at home with that person. But let's get a card at like a passionate good luck charm. What to bring, what kind of passion to work on or bring to the relationship. So funny. So Queen of Wands. I only think it's funny because it's the court card, and it's a different suit, and this is the closest we're going to get to passion. But that doesn't help because we just asked how can you bring passion, and this is like, well, just passion. But this tells me that the passion is there for you guys, and I think doing things gets you guys going. Like, you are the couple, like I said, that takes these cool pictures, goes on vacation, does these things together. That's a romantic couple. You guys are enjoying this. It's serving your needs, and you're definitely getting something out of it. And I think that you not just continue moving, continue propelling your relationship, which comes down to the Chariot for me. I think that you are both you're both into this. You guys are both all in, but this relationship is based on hard work and success and communication and same page. And it doesn't mean you can't grow and evolve into other things as a couple together. You very well may, and that's great. But if I see the Queen of Wands as like a romantically speaking good luck charm, I'm just gonna think like I think there's something about like just keep the excitement, the creativity, the kind of vibrancy, just keep it there. Don't get bogged down in the feels. Don't start overthink things or overanalyzing things. Get rid of the third person that's just not serving you in any way. And maybe start talking about the future more than you have. And when I say the future, I mean a future like an investment. So talk about investing in some next level of the future together. Oh, and let me do an oracle card because I'm enjoying the oracle cards. So let's just do one card to sum it all up, okay? And you guys are great, so let's do that. And this card is befriend the world, polarize. I have no idea what this card means. Befriend the world, polarize. This card means something. How it relates to your relationship, I could not tell you. It is neither good nor bad. It is just so neutral. It's a message that I don't even understand, to be frank. But I think just keep the adventures going. And I'm so sorry that was a lame pull. That was my fault. It doesn't need to be front and center because quite frankly, I don't get it. I am new to Oracle. Tarot is my bag and I love it. Oracle I'm working on. It's a new deck. So I need to sit with it and spend some more time with it, and I apologize. Please don't let it taint the theme of this reading for you. Okay, thank you so much, and I just hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, a comment would be amazing, but whatever you like, just please listen again for fun. Okay, bye. Hello, Pile 3. Thank you for being here. This is Light and Bone Tarot. And we are doing, actually, these readings, these have been fun. They've been lighthearted. They've been pretty poignant, but like I'm sticking to the theme, which these pictures make me happy. I'm not here to tell you what's wrong in your relationship. I'm never here to really tell you what's wrong in your relationship. That's not something I see, and it's not even a message but then watch next week, I'll be like, what's wrong in your relationship? So I don't know. But this is not what this reading is about. I am here to tell you why you picked Plenty to Go Around. It's a fun living card. So I think either it's going to tell us that like you just, I don't know, maybe you're dating and you've got all these options and life's great, or maybe you're like so focused on your friends and you've got this great friend circle and you like really aren't feeling men right now or women. I don't know what it's going to mean, but whatever it means, you're like in the right place. I feel that very much. You're happy, you're loved, you're, you're just doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. So that is going to be how this reading goes. We're just going to find out why you picked it, and we'll get some clarity. And there's always dark cards that come up, but it's a happy reading. So, but let's get them. Spirit will give us some messages. I think, she always has something to throw down and share. Okay, so let's do this. I've been trying different designs, I guess you could say, layouts. So I'm going to start with 3 cards, and I'm just going to say why you're so happy, because I think you're happy. Why are you so happy right now? Let's find out why you're so happy. And I'm glad you are. I'm happy for you that you're happy. I just realized, okay, the numbers go on the top. I had a scare there for a minute. Well, we love the Ten of Cups. This is like sheer bliss, happiness. I mean, this could be just a house full of people that you love. It could be a family, a full family. It could be it's not just you. This is a card of like having people around you, having love and abundance. It's a very, very happy card. It's the pinnacle of the cups. It can mean marriage, but it usually implies like a loved up situation, someone who's happy and secure and life is great. But basically every other card in tarot is bad, so don't get too excited. But no, this is why you're happy, why you're so happy. Okay, and so the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. What's the Nine of Cups? I need to think about that, and I just drew a complete blank on the Nine of Cups. Because I have to picture in my head the pictures from the Rider-Waite Smith deck, which sometimes they come to me, and then sometimes I draw a blank. And if I draw a blank, it can stick with me for a while. Okay, so Nine of Cups, Rider-Waite Smith. I'm telling you right now, I can't picture it. I am getting a sense of like, I've got a grid here of cups, so I'm going to feel like things are full. I'm going to say there's fulfillment. I'm going to say that like, this is coming. Oh, it's the Wish card. That's right. It's a great card. People can say that it means that there's a little emphasis on like material things, but you know what? That's fine, because these are material things that they're yours. They're yours. You want them, you got them, they're yours. You probably worked hard for them. So yes, I think you're working hard. I think you're getting literally all the things you want. What a great spread. And then for the Three of Wands, it's like there's a thinker card on the table. We'll call it the Three of Wands. And that to me is like, you're taking time to think right now. It's a foresight. It's kind of like a meditation. It's looking out. It's taking everything you have and like really sizing up the situation. So if I ask you why you're happy right now, I think it's because just everything is working out for you. Things are gelling. I don't see anything about work, but if I see the Nine of Cups, I'm like, oh yeah, things are absolutely working. Things are clicking. I mean, literally, like the clicky sounds. Things are absolutely clicking. And this goes to the picture. There's not a shortage of people that love you and you love return and you love in return in your life right now. So I would think like, I don't know if you don't need the relationship, if you don't need the physical piece right now, or if you have it and then some. I'm not sure, but you're good. This is why you're happy. Let's look at your current relationship, a snapshot. And I guess that's hard to say because I don't know what your current status is, but let's get a snapshot of your current relationship. And relationship can be just a gazillion friends, but I think we're talking more about a relationship. And if you are dating multiple people, or if you're like, really having fun doing that, maybe there's one person that stands out. So then this would be about that one person. There's a lot of cups here. Seven of Cups is like, there's a little bit of deceit in this, it's a card, and I'm repeating this from the last session because the Seven of Cups came up, but I read today that it might represent the 7 deadly sins, where each cup, which you can't see here, like has a little thing coming out of it, and this thing that's coming out of it is like a symbol for one of the deadly sins, which basically means that all your thoughts are basically not serving you. The options you have, the things you want, you don't really want them. They're not what you want, and you should really find a way to walk away from them. That's okay. The Three of Cups, we'll take that. That's a much better thing. I like that for you. That is like friendship, that's happiness, that's being surrounded by people, that's joy, that's rejoicing. This is a great happy card. This is, and then for the Queen of Wands, great. I mean, it's inspiration. It's command of thought, command of, and by thought I mean your actions, like what you want to do. You're in charge of the thoughts that control your actions, and your actions are, you're doing what you want to do. I'm sorry, I don't know if I just like hit a wall. This is your reading, and I swear I'm here for it, but I hear myself, and it's a bit much. But if I'm getting a snapshot of your current relationship, let's go back to what you like. I think there's mystery in this person. I think that mystery is, I don't want to say shrouded in fun, because I don't know if that mystery is good, bad, or otherwise. This card would say it's not great. But I think that there's this person or this dynamic you have comes with a fun, light, a lot of friendship, a lot of action, I think there's that creative, that movement. There's movement to you guys, whether you guys dance together or whether you like have this great like physical energy, this connection. There's like a creative flowing piece between you two where you really just kind of like just get off on each other's who the other person is, who they are. Like I mean, it's cliche to say if they're an artist, because obviously, but like maybe they're not an artist, but maybe they're like really into music. Maybe it's not even something everyone knows about them, but like they are, and you know that, and you really dig that, because guess what, you're really into dance, and like you just come together in this like I think there's something very you guys are drawn to each other for similar, there's a connection there. Okay. And I do think you guys are social together. I think you're having a great time going out together. And I think you like that this person either feels too good to be true, which they might be, or there's a fun mystery to them right now. But again, this is a happy reading. You're in a great place. All I'm saying is like, if there's someone that you might have more interest in than the other people you're dating, if that's your situation, this might be why. That doesn't mean that that's bad. It doesn't mean it's good. I'm just got a message from spirit that this might be what you see in them. So I guess it would be up for you to see if that connection is, serving you or not. But let's get two more cards about why did you pick. Let's get three cards about it. We're gonna go three. Why did you pick this? So much love to go around. Like, what's going on with you that you got so much to go around? And I like this. It's a fun. It's fun. It reminds me of my days partying in the city. Like, just so much fun, so much friendship, so much alcohol, so much dancing. Just like a fucking good time for all. And I do feel like you're enjoying life, as you should. I think things are going good for you, and I think you're into it. And by plenty of love to go around, I mean you're happy, you're in a good place. And if this person is this person where it's like, they are too good to be true, this isn't gonna phase you. You're not tripping on it, because you've got such a network. You've got so many things are clicking for you that you don't need to worry about any one person. That's not where you're at right now. And I think you're good at self-love right now. Like, you are loving yourself. You're taking care of yourself. You're honoring yourself. You're respecting yourself, and maybe more than you ever have before, which is it's a very empowering feeling when that happens. We pulled the last line here, and I have to remember the question I asked when I pulled this. I wish you could remind me. What? Why are you so happy? Yeah, why are you so happy? The Emperor of Death and the Three of Swords. I'm just going to say you're happy because you've been through a shitstorm of a relationship. You've had your heart broken. You've experienced some level of real pain and loss. And I'm going to equate it to a romantic pain and loss, but it could be a lot. It could be different. It could be a lot heavier than that. Not to underplay any romantic pain or loss, because that can be, that can just feel like the worst thing ever, like your breath's being taken away from you. But I think you've experienced it, and I think right now you are so totally in control of yourself, and you are the commander of yourself. You are your own lieutenant. You're the emperor, and you're doing exactly what you need to do. And part of what you're doing, this might have started out, this journey to be either completely unattached somehow, but in a very positive way. It might have come from experiencing some pain, and it probably wasn't I don't think it was an easy decision to make, to be this way. I think usually you are probably someone who is more settled, more attached. You might have a more attachment style love language, where you're just more heavily reliant on other people, or you really enjoy that relationship attachment. And I think that this is kind of like your first time really trying something else out, and I think it's really working for you. I think you like it. I think it's giving you a sense of self-control that is playing out very nicely, and it's giving you just confidence, quite frankly, because this line here, I could read into it a couple different ways, but the only thing I'm getting from it is like you're confident, you're in control of you right now, and there's just, it's kind of like a no worries because you've got your friends, like things are good for you. Yeah, but this last line, why are you so happy? You're happy because you know what it's like to not be happy, and you feel that whatever you went through here, it's left you, or it's leaving you, it's almost completely left you, and you recognize that like that you're in a very good place. And I think you are I think you're a happy person. I think you're someone that things generally work out for you. When they don't, I think they can go pretty damn bad. But I think you're someone who usually the glass is half full and things are working out for you. Which I kind of feel like is my life too, and I'm very grateful for that. I feel like, yes, things generally tend to work out for me. However, if things aren't working out for me, or if I'm like really bummed about something, it really feels like, whoa, that was a lot. That was really hard. That took me out for a few months. Like, just, I don't know, just the way I feel. But let's get a little bit more about, let me see. Let's get something about you. I want to know a little bit about you. I'm gonna pull 2 cards and learn about you. Because you're interesting. That you are definitely, there's something. I don't think you're hiding anything, but you're like. Well, that's funny. So the High Priestess, I wouldn't say she's hiding things, but she is very mysterious. She is like a little cave of secrets. She's a tricky broad, this one. And I mean, I love her for it. I love the High Priestess. She is, I don't know that she's sneaky. She's not sneaky. She might be sly, but she's like, she's strong. She has an intuition. She has this like wisdom, this all-knowing. She's the moon. She's water. She's, all the things that make up this like heavily feminine energy with all its weird little secrets. That's the High Priestess. And the Six of Swords. So you've got some depth here, and I do see a transition for you. I do think that right now you are transitioning out of something. You're leaving something behind. And I do think what you're leaving behind is pain. I do think that although you are very happy right now and you're very much appreciating this space you're in where other people are truly bringing you joy and helping lift you up and helping you love yourself. And I'm not saying you haven't always been someone that loved yourself. I don't know that you always struggled with that. That's not what I'm saying. But either way, right now, you very much are. I really do think that when I say you have secrets, I don't necessarily mean like, ooh, you've got, if these walls could talk. I'm just saying you've been through some stuff and you are actively leaving that behind. You are actively turning over new leaves. You are actively like reinventing pieces of you. And maybe this relationship here, this one that we joke about that's too good to be true, this might really be serving you right now, because if there is this kind of like creative, carefree piece to it, it might be everything you need right now. You probably know that this isn't the person you're going to marry or be with. I don't think you even want that right now. I actually don't think, even if you think about it or you talk to your friends like, yeah, he might be the one. Like, I mean, I've just never met anyone like him. I feel like still in the back of your mind, you're like, that's not the one. Like, this is my right now, but this isn't my forever. This person's got too much shit that they're dealing with. They're too much of a head case. They're whatever. But I do think that there is a piece of this person that is just driving you and inspiring you and lifting you and really serving you. And again, I mean, I want to say with tarot, things can change. Your reading can change tomorrow. This is not me saying that this isn't the right person for you. It really could be. I'm just saying right now, in this moment, in the moment that you're watching this video, it is more of a superficial, self-serving situation. But the future can be anything. It's open to you. And I did say in the beginning this was going to be a lighthearted, fun reading, and we're keeping it there. I am really singing your praises. I am saying you're awesome. You do have plenty of love to go around. You are loving that. You're just loving that you're loving things. I really like this. I'm happy for you. I want to say that, and I think that you're happy for you. I am going to pull some oracle cards, and you probably didn't watch the videos before this, but if you did, you would know I failed miserably with these oracle cards. I will read about this deck. I will learn it. I will get the hang of it. However, I feel like some of the cards are more self-explanatory than others. I'm sure that's a painful sound. But I'm going to throw down 2 cards, and I'm going to do my best to wing it with them. But again, even winging it is still brilliant on my part. No, even winging it, I think there's a message that's going to come through. So I guess bear with me, because I might not really understand the card, but I'm feeling the deck. So let's go there. Let's ask this card. Let's just get like something to keep in mind, kind of like a good luck charm, something to bear in mind. Well, no, let's get a good luck charm, and let's like a cautionary, a word of advice, something to bear in mind. So we're going to do a good luck charm, boom, and something to bear in mind. Fierce serenity. Fierce serenity. So I see the Leo on here. I'm liking that. The lion is fierce. For me, this card, based on what we said, is you are reaching a serene point. I think you're enjoying your thoughts. I think you're enjoying being alone with yourself. Even though this is about like being surrounded by other people, what I'm getting out of that is you're actually happy right now when you're with other people. You don't feel like you'd rather be on your couch or crying to your mom or whatever, or locked into a relationship. Like, you are finding true peace. You're finding your happy place. There's something very serene about you, and it is fierce. It is powerful. It is commanding. It is appealing. It's sexy. It's strong. So I do think that is something that you are doing very well, and something that you need to hold on to and just keep with that. Like, as a good luck charm, this is basically like a reminder that this is kind of like your power right now. You're doing this, and you're doing it very well. And yeah, keep this serenity going. I mean, I think serenity and serene have the same meaning. They should, but I like the idea of a serene existence. I mean, we all want some excitement, but like, serene is nice. Yeah. And then something to bear in mind, choose who you are becoming. I mean, that speaks for itself. I could just end the tape right here. I think you'd get the point. Yeah, you're leaving things behind. You're taking new paths. You're on a journey. You are experimenting with different people. You're figuring out what you want. You're still a little bag of secrets. Like, you still have the high priestess, which I love. Don't ever lose your high priestess. I mean, but choose who you are becoming. This is your time, because you might fall in love and be in a relationship in a month or a week or a year. And when it happens, it's hard to walk away from, and things change. And so this is your time. This is your true serene, your time to be serene, your time to do you, quite frankly. And yeah, like, pick your path. But I don't think this is so much like a pick wisely kind of thing. I think this is more of like a, you can do whatever you want kind of thing. Like, you can be, and I don't mean even from like a work standpoint, I mean like from a you, like, you can be that person that doesn't take things so personally, or you can be that person that doesn't have to let a past shape their future. Like, you can be whoever you want to be. And I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I do hope there's plenty of love to go around. I hope you didn't pick this because you don't have any love and you just wanted to hear that there was going to be. And if that's the case, if you picked plenty to go around because you literally are at like the opposite place right now and you want plenty of love to go around, then I hope this speaks to you as well. I'm sorry. I thought I had something for you. We will have another reading for you. You're still doing great. Trust me. Life is good overall. Okay. Whew, gonna cut out that last part. Okay. Thank you so much. Really, sincerely, thank you. In case I haven't thanked you enough, which I've definitely said the word thank you quite a bit, but really just want to express sincere gratitude. And you don't have to listen to this. I'll ramble for probably a minute, but I'll just say that I've always kind of just been trying to find just my real passion, my purpose, what drives me, what excites me. And right now this is a hobby. I hope to make something of it. I hope to be able to like leave my day job and make this my thing. But if I don't, I have enjoyed doing these videos so much, and I will give it my all and continue to do it in hopes that it gets me somewhere. But I guess the point is, I'm just really happy to be here. And if you're, if you hear this, then you're watching this, and I don't know. I just hope you got something out of it. Not only for the point that I want you to return and I want to be able to make this something of this, but because it is thrilling to me to think that someone would hear my message, the message that I believe Spirit has put through to the cards, and then I read the cards the way that I, just feel them in that moment. But yeah, it's really exciting, and I don't know. Thank you. I guess that's it. I will have to come up with other ways to express my gratitude, but it is here, and I guess I do have quite a sarcastic nature, and I hear the other tarot readers who do this, and they are so sweet and they're so beautiful. They're so amazing. And I hear myself sometimes and I'm like, God, should I have not said that? Should I have not cursed? Should I not have like had that tone? But I'm never mocking or belittling any of this. I'm never making fun. If I laugh or say something that's biting, it's because it's probably my situation and I completely get it, or it's the shoes I was in, yesterday, last month, last year, whatever. So, yeah, this is a huge process and learning experience for me, and something I greatly enjoy, because I get so much out of it. So, yeah, I just want you to know that if you ever think that I'm just such a bitch, which I think taken out of context, or someone just heard a snippet of me talking, they might think that, but I'm not. I'm here because I can't stop talking, apparently. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.